I'm Domenica Catelli, chef and co-owner of Catelli's Restaurant in Geyserville, California. I've been fortunate enough to grow up in this area that's abundant with fruits, vegetables, wine, and also walnuts. 99% of walnuts that are grown in the US come from California. Not only do I love walnuts for their flavor, their texture, their nutritional value, they're also close to my heart because as a third generation family-owned business, most of our walnut farms across the state of California are family-run and multi-generational. They're stewards of the land for one of the most sustainable trees that are out there. Today I'm going to be making a California walnut and kale ravioli with a walnut cream pesto sauce. The inspiration for this dish came on a trip that I took to Italy last year. I was in northern Italy and it is abundant with walnut pesto. And traditionally, a lot of places, pesto is made with pine nuts, but the walnut switch is phenomenal. Okay, for the walnut and kale filling, first I'm gonna start with our sheep's milk ricotta cheese. You can also use a regular whole cow's milk ricotta. Then I'm gonna add Parmesan, and then I'm gonna add our olive oil. Now I'm gonna add our walnuts that have been soaked overnight in water. The reason that I soak them is because I feel like that it adds a creamier texture to the mix, and it also helps balance out the bitterness of the kale. And then I'm gonna add onion powder, our eggs, salt and pepper, kale, and then I like to use fresh nutmeg, so I will grate the nutmeg in. If you want to use already ground nutmeg, that's fine too. For the teaspoon, it's about 1/4 of a whole nutmeg that you're gonna add. And then I just fresh lemon in as well. And then we're gonna pulse it. It's gonna have a little bit of chunkiness to it, but mostly creamy. Perfect. Now I'm gonna make the walnut cream, and then we're gonna add the pesto to that to make our pesto walnut cream. I put the water, walnuts, nutritional yeast, which adds a whole other level of flavor. You wanna use the large flaky yeast. And there's our walnut cream. Now I'm gonna sheet our pasta dough so we can make the ravioli. So it's rested, and now I'm gonna run it through. I always start on the whitest, and we go to the very thinnest here at Catelli's. That's part of what our pasta is known for. It's really delicate, melt in your mouth type of pasta. Right, we're gonna get ready to fill. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pipe the ravioli, and I do about a tablespoon, a little under a tablespoon per. I give a light mist of water, and then that helps seal the dough to each other. Here's our ravioli. What I love about this dish is once everything is prepped, it only takes a couple minutes to pick up and plate to the table. So I drop my raviolis into the gently boiling water. And then while the raviolis are cooking, I'm going to put our walnut cream and pesto into the pan to get it a little bit warmed up. And then the raviolis will go straight into the pan. All right, so now I'm ready to plate our ravioli. I'm gonna finish this with some tomatoes from our garden. Again, depending on what season it is and what you have where you are, you can add, I love shiitake mushrooms in the late fall. You could add spring peas in the spring. In California, we have tomatoes almost year round, so I love that how the acid, sweet acid kind of pairs well with the richness of the creaminess of the walnuts. And then I'm gonna add a little arugula on top around. And I have some lovely thyme from the garden, so I like a little bit of fresh thyme leaves. And I also like to add, I love the beautiful red walnuts for texture and color. I will crumble a little of those so you get a little crunch at the end. You could toast the walnuts as well if you prefer that, but it's a nice finish to this great dish.